Bismillah walhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Darling C21 Model College students, how are you doing? SS1 students in particular, I hope the lockdown is treating you well. I do sincerely hope you guys are doing some exercises so that you not become chubby by the time we resume school. May Allah save us from this pandemic and cleanse our land of the virus. Ameen. I've missed you guys, and I hope by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we're going to meet in peace and harmony. How are your parents? How is home? You're welcome to the third term academic session for 2020, 2019-2020, pardon me. We're going to be having this third term online because we already know the lockdown is affecting coronavirus is affecting everything. It caused the lockdown, and then the lockdown will not permit us to resume school, so the class will be an online thing. Lest I forget, happy Ramadan to everybody. May Allah accept it from us as acts of ibadah. Ameen. May we meet Allah's prayer these last 10 days, and may we be fortunate enough to meet with the night of Qadr. Ameen. Now, straight to the business of the day. We're going to be, the first thing we usually do is to give you the scheme of work for the term, and that is what I'm going to do now. So after giving you the scheme of work, then we take it from there. So usually for every class after the holiday, we have the scheme of work, and then we have our revision for the last examination. Let's start with the scheme of work. Here we go. A minute, please, class. Okay, so for this third term, we're not going to be doing that much, but what we'll be having is much of our exercises on all subjects that we'll be offering, inshallah. So here is it. For the first week of the term, we'll be having our revision exercise, review of last term's examination, as is our usual practice. So for second week, we'll be having comprehension, and the title of the comprehension passage we'll be dealing with is NAFDAC and the battle against makers of counterfeit drugs. It is on page 166 of your textbook. Next is writing informal letter, and it's going to be a lot of practices. I'll give you examples, then you practice some on your own. You write and I will mark them. Structure is going to be focused on adverbials. For third week, we move on to comprehension again. Smallpox will be the topic, and it is on page 80 of your textbook, of your new textbook. Structure again is going to be on adverbials, more about adverbials on 167. Then summary, of which the title is Mr. Abu, the Honest Man, page 163. Week 4 will be on spoken English. We're going to be having our spelling pronunciation. We'll be dealing with how to pronounce words correctly. There are some words that you'll be like, wow, is this the pronunciation? You know, we treated something like that last term, so we're going to go ahead and treat more of it. Comprehension again for fourth week. The title will be Year of Drought. Is on page 174. Then structure again. Then we'll move on to spoken English again, silent consonants. There are some words that you will see a consonant letter in there, but you're not going to pronounce it. To tell you, I'm only here, I'm shy, don't pronounce me. So such words, we'll be dealing with them. Comprehension, the last run of the bandits, page 183, and vocabulary development on stock exchange. Week 6 is on comprehension again. The topic is the dangers of smoking, page 189. Another thing is on structure, complex sentence, and the other one for that week will be on punctuation, colon and semicolon, page 193. For week 7, we have spoken English vowel practice. Usually after week 7, if the school is on, we are supposed to go on break for midterm. But as it is, we've had all the holiday one can think of that we're supposed to have. So there's no holiday, students. It's got to be work, work, and work now. So please brace up and buckle your shoes. Comprehension passage will be on building rocks, and summary exercise will be on bed coverings. These are on pages 196 and 186 respectively. Week 8 will be on spoken English, and of which the title, the subtopic will be more on vowel practices. Also on week 8, we have comprehension, the bloated capitalist, and continuous writing informal letter samples. We're going to be dealing with the samples that we find in your textbooks. We're going to be juxtaposing them with the ones you've written, with the ones I'm going to give you, and then we're going to be learning from all of them. For week 9, we have comprehension, efficient reading is the title. Under summary, we're going to be having exercises, page 202, and punctuation. Placing punctuation marks is going to be an exercise too. For week 10, comprehension, environmental pollution, punctuation revision and tests, and then we're going to be having a lot of exercises on what we have done so far. That is what usually we do for our last week, and then we have our revision before examination. May Allah spare our lives. So come with me as we take this one by one. So for the first week that we said, we have revision, review of last term's examination. Alhamdulillah, it's a pity that the suddenness of the holiday did not permit us to have our usual, chit chat in school after your examination. So have marked, and you guys did well. May Allah put barakah in your effort, but still there are enough room for improvements. So we'll discuss this one by one. Here are the options for the objective text questions 1 to 80 for your examination, English paper 1. OBJ question 1. The correct option is B. What you're going to do for me is get your question paper. You already have them. Get your question paper beside you. Go through the question. I'm sure you take the answers you chose then. So go through them and juxtapose them with the answers I'm giving you now, so that you know where you're wrong. You can't be wrong twice. So you have to learn from your mistakes. So question 1, the correct option is B. Question 2 has A as the correct option. Question 3, A as well. Question 4, A. Question 5, C. Question 6, A. Question 7 is a bonus mark. 8 is B. 9 is C. 10, A. 11 is D. 12 is B as well. 13 is C. 14, A. 15, C. 16, C. 17, B. 18, D. 19, A. and 20, D. Moving ahead to 21, A. 22, D. 23, C. 24, C. 25, D. 26, B. 27, B. 28, C. 29, C. 30, B. Number 21, the correct answer is A. 32 is B, 33 is B, 34 is C, 35 A, 36 C, 37 B, 38 A, 39 C, 40 D, 41 C, 42 A, 43 B, 44 A, 45 C, 46 C, 47, 48 A, C respectively, 49, 50 B, A respectively. To number 51, the correct answer is option A. 52 B, 53 is option A, 54 is option A, 55 is option B, 56 is option A, 57 B, 58 B, 59 B, 60 D, 61, 62 C, B, 63, 64 and 65 and 66 are options A, all through the 4 of them. 67 is C, 68 is A, and 69 is B, while 70 is B. For question 71, The correct answer is D. 72's answer is B, 73 is A, 74 is B, 75 is D. 76 has the option B as the correct option, 77 C, 78 A, 79 B, 80 D. So those are the correct options for your OBJ. Please ensure you go through them, learn from the mistakes you have made. The ones you get correctly, ace up your sleeve, give yourself a pat on the back. So let's move on to the second aspect of the revision. The comprehension passage given to you was a WAEC question. I used to tell you in class that there's nothing in there that you cannot attempt, and you did well. So, except for some few areas where I want you to improve on. Let me quickly go through the comprehension passage for you. Comprehension carries 20 marks, and you have 30 minutes to read and answer the question on it. Now, the instruction says, read the following passage carefully and answer the questions on it. What was meant to be a mere joke intended to diffuse tension in our class turned out to be a sour experience for me. The incident happened as our promotion examination was approaching. Every student became a bookworm. Everybody got married to his or her books because of the importance of the examination. The situation in our class became tense as almost everybody was anxious, was becoming nervous. Indeed, we were all gripped with fear. Then, just about 2 days to the commencement of the examination, our English language teacher came to our class frantically looking for one of us, Abidin. As he entered the class, he shouted, "Where is Abidin? Who knows his whereabouts? Is he at large?" At first, everybody kept mum, for we didn't know what the boy was wanted for, and we didn't want him to be punished. In addition, the silence was also born out of fright. The teacher being the most feared teacher out of all the teachers in the school. Then I stood up and intentionally chose to poke some fun. "I know him, sir. He's not at large, he's at small." Abidin being a tiny boy. The whole class burst into an uncontrollable laughter and continued quite some time. Meanwhile, Abidin had managed to squeeze himself into a corner, and so the teacher could not see him. In any case, the teacher could not identify him. Then it happened. Our teacher's face changed, and he became infuriated and began to yell, "You, Uzodinma, you meant to tell me that you have not mastered simple concord, which I have taught you 1,001 times? Only last week I told you the meaning of the expression to be at large, and yet you still gave it your own meaning. Something must be wrong with your brain," he ranted on. When he paused for breath, I intoned, "Excuse me, sir, He didn't allow me to offer any explanation. He called out 2 hefty boys and ordered me to be carried in a horizontal position. My classmates, who had sensed trouble, pleaded with the teacher to have mercy on me. The male ones prostrated and the female ones knelt down, but all the pleas fell on deaf ears as the teacher proceeded to administer 6 hard strokes on my buttocks. Questions now, class. Okay, before we move to the question, you will notice from the passage that this is a mere classroom atmosphere, just like we usually have in school. And like sometimes when you guys want to try to be funny, you want to play trick on the teacher, or you want to poke some fun, this one turned sour because the fun he intended turned out differently. So it's a simple passage that I am sure everybody understands very well. Let's go to the questions. Question A, why did the writer get into trouble? Question B, what prompted the students to take their studies seriously? Question C, why did everybody keep quiet when the teacher asked for Abidin's whereabouts? Question D, What infuriated the teacher? He. Why could the teacher not see Aberdeen? F. 1,001 times. What figure of speech is used in this expression? What does it mean? G. Who had sensed trouble? What grammatical name is given to the group of words above? And what is its function? H. For each of the following words, find another word or phrase which means the same and which can replace it as used in the passage. Okay, so that's the question. Okay, those are the questions. The answers now. For question A, why did the writer get into trouble? The writer got into trouble because he poked some fun. Your answer is correct if that is what you wrote. You can also have it that the writer got into trouble because he cracked a joke when his teacher was hungry. So either of the two will give you your deserved mark. Question B's answer. The forthcoming promotional examination prompted the students to take their studies seriously. C. Everybody kept quiet when the teacher asked for Aberdeen's whereabouts because they didn't want Aberdeen punished. D. The teacher was infuriated because he felt Uzodinma didn't understand the expression at large. He, the teacher, could not see Aberdeen because he had squeezed himself into a corner. Have 1,001 times the expression is hyperbole. Sorry about that. Okay, the expression is hyperbole, and excuse me, please. Okay. It means several times. G. Who had sensed trouble is an adjectival clause. It qualifies my classmates. H. Diffuse means reduce. Reduce. Yeah, thank you. Sour means bitter. That's word substitution. Commencement, beginning. Fright, fear. Infuriated, annoyed. Yell, shout. So that's the correct answer to that passage. Moving forward, let's go to summary passage. For every summary passage, you have 30 marks for the questions. And usually we have 5 questions or 6 questions. Sometimes 5, sometimes 6. If it is 5, that means each question carries 6 marks. If it is 6, that means each question carries 5 marks. So you must be able to give your answers in sentences. Correct sentences, starting with capital letters, ending with full stop. Please don't forget this. It is very important. Now let's read the instruction. Dear students, I hope you're still listening. I hope you're still there. Let's move on. You're advised to spend about 40 minutes on this section. Read the following passage carefully and answer the questions on it. The importance of agriculture is often underestimated in our country. That is why many people often look down on agriculture as an occupation that is only fit for the aged people. Succeeding governments too have been paying lip service to it, yet nobody, not even the VIPs, can exist without this king of all occupations. King of all occupations. Why is agriculture so crucial to our existence? Food, which is the product of agriculture, is the life wire of human existence. Can the legislatures legislate with empty stomachs? Can the executive execute any policy with empty stomachs? Similarly, the judiciary cannot adjudicate on cases without foods. This country is blessed with fertile land, good weather, and other things that can make it feed the whole West African sub-region. Unfortunately, because of the neglect of agriculture, there is hunger written on the faces of the majority of the people. There is a local adage which states, if hunger is removed from poverty, then poverty ceases to be. If given proper attention, agriculture will therefore wipe out hunger. Hunger. Examine the clothes we wear. Do you know it is the product of agriculture? Many of us just wear these beautiful dresses without any thought of how they are produced. Through cotton and other fibers produced by agriculture, we are able to wear good clothes that are suitable for all weather conditions. Probably, our feet would have been worn out but for agriculture. Imagine you walking about without shoes. Again, we wear these various kinds and types of comfortable shoes without bothering about what materials are used in their production. Agriculture produces the hides and skin that are used in making these elegant, beautiful, and fanciful shoes for men, ladies, and children. What about employment generation? Nowadays, the youths who graduate from numerous universities and tertiary institutions are faced with lack of employment, and this is why the devil is always busy engaging them. For the workshop of the devil is an idle mind. If the necessary importance is attached to agriculture and it is made quite attractive, thousands of these unemployed youths will find solace in it. Our leaders are always complaining of lack of foreign exchange to execute the various development projects. Why would there not be lack of foreign exchange when we depend heavily on importation? We import rice, wheat, palm oil, and various food items. We even import toothpicks. Why can't we develop and encourage agriculture such that we will depend heavily on the exportation of agricultural products? The foreign exchange earnings obtained from the exportation of these products will therefore be used in financing the development projects. The depressed economy will thus become buoyant. The encouragement of agriculture will not only make the economy healthy, it will also make the people healthy. How can this be? For the body to remain quite healthy, it needs certain vitamins that are obtainable from plants. Such plants include fruits such as oranges, bananas, mangoes, watermelon, etc., and vegetables. If proper attention is paid to agriculture, these fruits and vegetables will be grown on a large scale and they will be consumed regularly by both the rich and the poor. Diseases and sicknesses will be drastically reduced. We will therefore not need to spend heavily on drugs and medications in the hospitals. Question. In 6 sentences, one for each, state the roles which agriculture can perform as presented in the passage. Please take note of some key points in this question. In 6 sentences, 6 different sentences, one for each. One must not depend on the other. Sentence 1 must be different from sentence 2. Sentence 2 must be different from sentence 3. They must not depend on one another. State the roles which agriculture can perform, role that it can perform. Not the role that it performs or will perform, the role that it can perform. As presented in the passage, please don't bring foreign ideas. Use the one presented in the passage. That is what the question is trying to say. So here are the correct answers, as different from the ones some of you supplied for me. 1. Agriculture can provide food. Remember, the question says the role which agriculture can play or can perform. So answer 1, agriculture can provide food, or agriculture can wipe out hunger. If you write either of the two, you're right. Note my answers, beginning with correct numbering. Number 1, full stop. Agriculture can provide food, capital letter, then ending with full stop. Sentence 1 on its own. I didn't say agriculture can provide food and agriculture can provide shelter. No. Sentence 1 must not depend on sentence 2. Sentence 2 must not hide under any sentence. 3, no. 2, agriculture can provide shelter. 3, agriculture can generate employment opportunities. 4, agricultural produce are used to make footwear. 5, agriculture can serve as foreign exchange. 6, agriculture can boost the economy. 7, agriculture can boost people's health. So that here's the way to answer your question. Moving forward, essay writing. This is the area where lots of you amuse me a lot. We usually encourage you to pick informal letter writing. There is always an informal letter in your question. So we usually encourage you to pick informal letter writing, because if you pick a story, you are likely to make mistakes, a lot of errors in your tenses, use of tense. So, and if you write a formal letter, you will not have the opportunity of writing as much as we would have expected you to do. You're supposed to write nothing less than 450 words. So here you go. These are the things we expect of you when writing your essay. For the content, it carries 10 marks. Organization also carries 10 marks. Mechanical accuracy 10 marks. Expression carries 20 marks. The content means that you should write exactly what the questions ask you to write on. Do not deviate from the question, from the content that you're supposed to write on. Your organization, please ensure that you observe the right paragraphing, there is indentation, and you do not model everything up. What do I mean? Do not bring two topic sentences in just a particular paragraph. That is wrong. I usually sand it into your hearing while in school. For mechanical accuracy, so every ringable error we deduct minus half. So please ensure your tenses are correct, your grammars are correct. Spelling, please take note of them. My advice is, when you are trying to spell and you can't really remember your spelling correctly, write it somewhere. Be sure of the spelling, then write it in your essay. Then expression. Speak good English. Write correct, simple English. If you don't understand a word, you're not impressing anybody. Don't think you want to impress Mr. Maya or Mrs. Aderibigbe. If you don't understand a word, flabbergasted, you want to use it because you've heard your friend say it or your teacher has said it. I've said it, a lot of times. You want to use it to while you write so that your teacher will know that, oh, you're very good. Please, you're not using it wrongly. Don't try it at all. Use the simple word you understand, the simple word you know, the one whose meaning you really have mastered. I hope we all understand. Endeavor to go through the answers and juxtapose them with yours. The ones you chose during the examination, choose during the examination. See where your mistakes lie and then improve on them. Don't just stay home. Stay safe, and if you must go out, please ensure you use nose masks and observe social distancing. May Allah keep us all safe. Once again, miss you and hope to see you soon, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bye, students.